Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad you are here. If you are new here, please make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any new videos. Make sure you click the red subscribe button and you also click the notification bell so that the next time I produce a video, you will be the first to get it. Thank you so much. Remember to connect with me on Instagram, Dr. Wilbert R. Mutoko, on Facebook, Dr. Wilbert R. Mutoko, on YouTube, Dr. Wilbert R. Mutoko. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you. Love you.
Hello, Pako. Good to have you, man.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yes, awesome stuff. So, man, we are in COVID-19.
Yeah.
How have you been keeping?
50-50, I'd say. I think the first weeks were really tough. I mean, we are so used to being outdoors, you know, having the time and the freedom to just be out and about, you know. So it was a major adjustment in the first 2 to 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. But by the third week, really, I was just used to it now. And I think I used the time to think a lot. Sorry, to think a lot about the year and what's left of the year, and the plans that I have for myself as well in the last half of the year.
All right.
So I'd say, all in all, it's been a good time to think and to reflect and to grow, really.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Even myself, I have also taken this COVID-19 time to study, to empower myself, you know, and also to send around motivational messages to get people through this and inspire leaders and to empower entrepreneurs so that going forward we can create more jobs and be able to, you know, revitalize our economy.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome stuff. So that's the major reason why I brought you here, because my passion is to inspire leaders and to empower entrepreneurs, and obviously to empower the young ones as well so that they can become entrepreneurs and business leaders. Now, having a person like you who is a personal branding expert, it's so exciting because, you know, some people need to brand themselves, some people need to rebrand themselves. So somebody might want to know, personally, I know you, I have heard you speaking a number of times, and I really liked what you were talking about and what you stand for. So somebody might want to know, who is Pako Moshaga?
Okay, so in a nutshell, I'm a change agent. I'm someone that loves change and that loves to see people transform. So I got into this line of work because of that love for transformation, as I believe that we all have a version of ourselves that we can get in, that we can get to either on our own or with a little push. And something that I've experienced in my own life. And out of that experience, I said, you know what, I can help other people as well get to the level that I managed to get to. And it's something that I'm very passionate about. I love people. I love change. I love growth, and I love seeing people become better, you know, better in life and advance, and as well as become more content. So I love that. And also, I'm a Christian. I'm a firm believer in God. I believe that everything that I've managed to achieve so far is truly just by the love of God, grace, and the favor of the Lord, really. And I'd say that's something that's fundamental to me. I'm married for just over 3 years now. I'm a father of 2, and it's a joy, it's an inspiration, something that really helps me to push to become better as an individual and as a father and husband as well. And therefore, I'm someone who's pushing themselves to be better in all areas of life. So I'd say in a nutshell, that's where I am.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. So I know you started speaking on personal branding in the year 2018.
Yes.
And already people are inviting you to speak in different functions, to encourage youth, to encourage different kinds of people on issues of personal branding. What do you think helped you to, as a speaker, to get to that level? Because I know quite a number of speakers who have been in the speaking industry for many years, but it's very difficult for them to get a breakthrough. What would you say is your secret?
I'd say for me, it was being intentional and focused about branding myself as a speaker. So I'd say I used primarily social media, mainly Facebook, to put myself out there, profile myself as a speaker. So for months, every post that I put up is of me giving a talk. It's a picture of me giving a talk, or I'm talking about an event that I'm going to speak at. And because I was new at it, honestly, I had to go out to institutions and ask, can I come speak at your school? Can I come speak at your NGO? So I had to create opportunities and then profile those opportunities to further push my brand online. And I think being focused about that has really, really helped me. It also came at a cost, because it meant that all that I put online on Facebook mostly was about speaking, nothing except speaking, no jokes, nothing. So I had to be very, very focused around having people see me as a speaker.
I like that. You have been very intentional. And I remember when I was inviting you to come and speak, you know, because for me, I like inspiring business leaders and I like empowering entrepreneurs. So each time I think of these interviews, I'm just thinking, what can we do to inspire business leaders to do more? What can we do to make sure entrepreneurs grow, you know? And we help graduates that have been looking for jobs to now start doing something for themselves. And I remember I spoke to you and I said, can you come on my show and speak about personal branding and corporate branding and entrepreneurial? And you said something very interesting to me. You said, I prefer to talk about personal branding. And so when you say you have been very intentional, I understand what you are saying because I have tested it firsthand, you know. And I think that's one thing that speakers lack. Speakers want to find themselves speaking about everything. While it's a good thing, you are empowering people, but at the end of the day, people are confused. They don't know where you stand. You know, like this morning, a friend reached out to me just before we came for this show. And he said, Doc, I want to host you on a show. He's in Nigeria. So he says he wants to host me online so that I'll be talking about marketing products and marketing services. Is that fine with you? You know, I appreciate somebody wants me there because I talk a lot about entrepreneurship, you know, and it's something I'm excited about. But, you know, when you are in, my desire to empower entrepreneurs does not mean that I empower them with everything. My main focus is on business leadership. And I know, obviously, many people know me also for empowering entrepreneurs on the financial wellness side. And I've written 3 books on financial wellness. Now, my friend is calling me on his show to talk about marketing. For sure, I could say something about marketing, but I'm not a marketing expert. So I had to say to him, thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for deciding to bring me on your show to talk about marketing, but I'm sorry, I will not be able to come and talk about marketing. Let's leave that to marketing experts. If you want me to speak on your show, I will come and talk about business leadership. So he appreciated that. So we are still going ahead, and I'm going to have that show with my friend in Nigeria, but I will be talking about business leadership, not marketing. I would rather be listening to an expert talk about marketing so that I can add to what I know about marketing. I'm trying to avoid a situation where I'm theoretical. And that's exactly what I see in Pako Moshaga, which is helping you to stand out. And I think this will be helpful to other speakers out there. Be intentional. What do you speak on? What do you speak on? So thank you so much for that. I think that one was specifically for speakers. Now let's go into personal branding. What is personal branding?
So it's like, think of it as marketing. So it's basically you putting yourself out there intentionally. So personal branding is the art of packing and presenting yourself based on your talents, your value, and your skills. So you have a brand around it, and you put that brand out to the world so that you are known for something specific. I'm known for personal branding. You are known for business leadership and empowerment. So branding is deciding that I want to be known for this particular thing and being intentional about being known for that thing. In a nutshell, that's what personal branding is.
Thank you so much. I like the fact that you are still bringing the word intentional. Intentional.
Yes.
So obviously, honestly speaking, Pako, sometimes as speakers, we mess up because people know you for too many things. Now, if I hear Pako Moshaga, what happens to my mind first thing is personal branding, no doubt. If I hear Tiger Woods, I already think of golf. So when I hear Bill Gates, I hear Microsoft. You talk of Steve Jobs, Apple, straight away. Personal. Who are you? That's what we are saying to our audience. Who are you? What do people know you for? You could be doing a lot of things out there, but what do you stand for? That's personal branding, as we hear from Pako. And Pako is saying, be intentional. So I think many people need to sit down and say to themselves, what do I do? So Pako, does this also apply even for people who are looking for jobs? I think their personal brand can actually help them even when they are looking for a job as well. Because I've been privileged to sit in different interview boards where we interview incoming employees. And I've realized that there are some people who have such a vast experience, and everything is put in the CV. So when they come for the interview, the interviewers are actually, confused. Can you talk a bit about that for people who want to get jobs or people who are already employed? What should they do to also brand themselves?
All right, that's a very, very key area, Doctor. So for people that want to get jobs, branding is important because your brand talks about your unique value, your unique skills. Beyond the degree, someone needs to have value. It's either you are good at speaking, you're good at leadership, at coming up with solutions to exceptionally good at, and you need to be able to explain what that is in an interview. So it's like when someone is asked, tell us about yourself. That's a chance to profile your brand beyond the degree, beyond that. Who am I? What can I offer that the next person cannot offer? What is it about my experience? A character. Yes.
Pako, please, can you wait? You know, we are still having a bit of a challenge with our technical aspects, but it's much better. We can hear you a bit. Do you mind disabling your video temporarily so that we can see whether maybe your audio will be better without the video? Then later on, if we feel that the network is better on your side, you can put back the video. You are saying some very powerful things there. You are mentioning that when you are invited for an interview, it's an opportunity to profile yourself, or to profile yourself beyond the degree, beyond the diploma, beyond your qualifications, to showcase what are you made of, what are you capable of doing apart from what is on your qualifications. I think that's amazing. What is it that you can do better than anybody else? Because remember, when people are looking for someone to hire, they are not just looking for somebody with qualifications. They are looking for somebody to fill in a gap, to solve some problems. So please continue along those lines. I really like what you were saying.
Thanks, Doctor. Yeah, so a job interview is a chance to exactly that, to profile yourself, given that chance to impress the audience, which eventually is a panel, you know. So branding in that aspect comes from value and what you're able to do. But another aspect of a brand is image. Presentation is also a key part of a brand. So I'd say a few points around this is to dress the part, you know. I like saying, dress as if you already have that job. You know, because if you are dressed for the job, they see you as someone who is ready to start immediately. And that affects their thinking and their decision making. Because they'll say, wow, this guy looks like he's ready to start today. This guy has the right look, you know? So you come dressed as an intern, you know, you come dressed as a manager or officer. You come dressed as if you are already employed, you see? And then you take the image and value, you bring them together, and that's a powerful combination of someone who looks the part, talks the part, and can clearly do the part as well. They can do the job.
Wow. I really love that. So come dressed as though you are starting today. And then you support yourself.
Exactly. Image counts for a lot.
And how you speak and the energy that you bring in the room.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. So generally, I know we moved faster there. We went into employees. But why is it important for me to do personal branding? Why bother? I'm just myself, man. I just want to be me. Why should I brand myself? If you like me, take me. Even when I'm an entrepreneur, if you like my things, buy. If you don't like, leave me alone. As an employee, why should I brand myself? I can just be me. If you want to hire me, hire me. If you don't want, leave me alone. What do you say?
I say that I get that often. I think people often say, "Don't judge a book by its cover," right? And my thing is always, people judge the book by the cover. That's why that saying exists, because that's how people are. People, we look and we judge, you know. So before you talk to someone, you see them and you look at them and you decide, is this someone worth my time? Is this someone that I think is serious about their life and they value their time and they also value mine as well, or not? So the first element which I touched on earlier again is image. People are visual, and we decide that something I should stop and talk to or not. Without a brand, people define you based on your actions, your and your behavior. And if you just act anyhow, you speak anyhow, you dress anyhow, people think of you as someone that is not focused, is not serious about life. If you have a brand, people see you based on the brand that you have. So you decide how you want to be defined. Again, intentional about how you look, how you speak, how you carry yourself, and what kind of areas you go to, what kind of people you are linked to as well. So having a brand ensures that you manage how the world finds you. And if the world has a clear definition of who you are, what you do, the brand brings you opportunities now, which is where I am now. Because my brand is that of a speaker, I get opportunities in line with speaking, because I've put myself out there as a speaker. And that's the main thing about personal branding, is opportunities that come to you based on the brand that you have put out to the world.
That's powerful, my brother. I think we can try to bring back the video, because the audio seems to be behaving the same way as what the video has been doing. So we might as well just see your face.
Okay. All right.
Yes, we are not stopping. Technical challenges will not stop us. Right. So definitely. That's very interesting. The way you are saying that if you decide not to brand yourself, then you are actually saying to the world, categorize me in anything that you see fit. And it shows that you are not intentional and you are not serious. And I think we also need to touch on this, Pako. Sometimes people think of, people sometimes they go to extremes. Somebody will say, I don't care what people think. What people think is none of my business. This is my life. I do what I want. But guess what? Like you said earlier, people are going to judge you. And what matters most in terms of your success in life is not what you think about yourself only. It's how the world perceives you. How the world perceives you is very important.
Yeah.
So when we talk of a brand, we are talking of how the world looks at you. How much value does the world think you are worth? I can go out there and I say, maybe I can call myself a leadership guru. I'm the best in the world. Hey, that's a choice. You can say, anybody can say anything. But what does Botswana say? What does Africa say about me? Am I even known out there? Do people even care that there's somebody called Wilbert? So thinking of myself highly is okay, but it shouldn't be taken to to excess. What do people think of you? That's why we were saying, when people hear Pako, personal branding comes in. When people hear leadership, Wilbert, when they hear Wilbert, they connect that with leadership and connect that with entrepreneurship empowerment. You can't run away from it, right? And when you say Tiger Woods, immediately the word golf comes in. You say Mark Zuckerberg, the word Facebook immediately comes in. So we are saying every one of the people out there, when your name pops up, what comes to people's minds? And there's something you said, Pako, that I liked. There's something you said that I liked. You mentioned the issue of dressing. You mentioned the issue of whom you network with, which people are in your network. You mentioned how you act. And you also mentioned something to do with, there's something I wanted to say there that is just run away. You said quite a number of things about your brand. What you speak, the people you network around with, where you spend your time, what you do, how you dress, all these things put together, they play a role. And the other thing that you mentioned that I thought I need to emphasize for our audience, Pako, is where you spend your time. It means because of your brand, you can actually decide that from now onwards, I must never be seen in such a place. Because otherwise, people will connect my brand to that place. If it's a place that doesn't go well with your brand, you need to go in different ways.
Well said, Doctor. Well said. Well said.
So we have talked about the importance of branding, my brother. Let's talk about branding to business leaders. We have talked about branding for employees, now branding for business leaders.
Okay. So brand for a business leader is key because that is based business. And people value and trust on the person behind. The business is an entity, but ultimately people want is the person running that business. And therefore they need to have trust and confidence in the leader. Therefore the leader himself needs to have a brand that is trustworthy and inspires confidence. And this comes from online presence. LinkedIn comes into mind. As a business leader, you need to be on LinkedIn. No one can take you seriously if you're in the corporate world, business world, but you're not on LinkedIn. Because it's a place to network and to profile yourself. So as a leader, it's vital for one to be on LinkedIn and to have a clear profile, a nice profile picture, and up-to-date profile should be aligned with branding them as a leader in their field, branding them as someone to go to in that field, as an expert in the field that they are in. So a large part of branding is done online because through online, you are able to touch different people in the country, in the continent, in other continents as well. So it's of vital importance that one has a fair and well-managed online presence. Then another aspect again is events, conferences, and seminars. As a leader, one needs to dress, again, I think that now I'm abusing this word, one needs to dress intelligently to be seen as well. A leader is someone that needs to be seen to have a certain image. And image that says power, that says control, that says leadership, and leaders dress in a certain way. As a man, a suit is a must. A suit and a tie is a must. As a lady, suits are just formal wear in general. A leader needs to have a certain image such that when they enter a room, someone can see that there's something different about that person. The way they're dressed, the way that they walk, that person must be an MD, CEO, CFO, or what. But they need to have an image that says that I am in leadership, someone with influence, I'm someone who is an expert, I'm someone who is trustworthy. And that brand feeds into the business. If you look at Elon Musk, the owner and the founder of Tesla, people trust in his company because they trust in him as an individual, as an expert in his field. Of a brand is that it feeds to the business. If you look at another leader, a speaker from SA, Tembekwai, people trust in the business that he runs because they trust him as an individual, because over the years he's put himself out there as a speaker, as an expert in his field, in being able to help companies, advise companies, and also run his own successful company as well. So people will go to people will go to company as a result of the trust that they have in his personal brand. So the value flows from the brand to the company. So if the brand is not managed well, it can affect the company as well. So that's how branding and leaders, companies go hand in hand.
Beautiful. I really like what you're saying, because isn't it some entrepreneurs are also business leaders, obviously. Whether you are a one-man band or you have 3 people under you, you have 10 people, you are actually a business leader. You are in a position of leadership, right? And at the same time, we have people in the corporate who had huge organizations or who are part of the leadership in huge organizations. They may not own those organizations, so they are basically business leaders. So what I'm trying to say is what you have said also applies to entrepreneurs, because they are 100%. Automatically business leaders by virtue of their position. And
yes,
I think another thing that we need to bring in there, Pako, concerning the issue of people having confidence with your organization, apart from the dressing, even the way you walk. You know, there is a way you walk energetically, straight up, and you show that you know what you are doing. And then there is a way you walk and you show as if you are confused or you are sickly and you don't know where you are going.
Yes.
What do you say about that?
Very true, very true. I'd say it's a key part of a brand, because mind you, certain elements of a brand are. So, as I said earlier on, we look and we judge, you know.
Yes.
So you are able to tell a lot about someone's body language, you know. Body language actually says more than actual words. So from the way that someone carries themselves, you are able to infer into the type of person that they are. You are able to gauge how they see themselves, what they are about in life, how serious they are in life, and how worth your time they are, you know. So body language counts for a whole lot and should not be left to be just unplanned, unmanaged, and random. It's very, very important that one has a proper self-image, and through a proper self-image, it flows into the outward. As a leader, as a powerful person, it flows into how you dress, how you speak, how you think, even how you walk. So that's why in my work, especially in my articles, I always talk about the need to have a proper self-image, because once you have the mind right, everything else will align to the mind. Again, if the mindset is off, everything else will be off because of that mindset. So it's very, very important that one has a proper mindset and they understand the values and the skills and the talents that they have, and they see themselves according to what they can offer the world.
Amazing, amazing. You know, there is a combination you are putting there of the mindset and the dressing and stuff like that. And it gets me thinking of something that I did during the COVID-19, because during this time, I've been working from home. I've been doing a lot of work online. And I realized that there are times you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like working because the mind tells you, Mona, you are at home. So what I decided to do is, if at all it happens that I wake up and I don't feel like I'm working, what do? I dress up like I'm going to the office. And also I have a section of my house where I have made my little office. I put a desk there, I put some files there, I put my laptop, I put this, I put that. So I really feel like I'm in the office. So your brand can actually be managed in one way by creating an environment that nurtures the brand. So what I've been doing is that, okay, it doesn't mean that every day I have to put on a tie and a jacket, right? Working from home. But, and even sometimes when I go to meetings and stuff like that, I'm not really forced to put on a jacket. Sometimes people ask, hey, Mutoko, you are so consistent. You are always putting on a suit. Even in meetings online, you are putting on a suit. They don't realize that it's part of the brand. It's part of the brand, and it affects my mindset, like you were saying. So even during this COVID-19, I can wake up, put on a suit, then I sit there. I'm talking of putting on a suit, my brother, even wearing roll-on, you know, and perfume, so that I really feel like I'm working, I'm in the office, and I'm serious about what I'm doing. Then I get a lot happening. I get a lot of productivity. Otherwise, if you don't manage your environment and manage your mindset, it will be difficult for you to be consistent with your personal brand.
100%. Yeah. That's
awesome.
It.
I don't know what else you have for us, my brother, before we call it a day.
All right. I'd say, firstly, is just to say thanks, Doctor, for the time and for the platform as well, to share what I know about personal branding. So I guess as a closing note, I'd just like to stress the need to have a personal brand. The world is online these days. You know, everything is online. There's WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. So it's so easy to build a name for yourself online. First thing, identify your value, your skills, your talents, and then profile yourself based on that online. And do it well, consistently, and then opportunities will come to you in line with your brand. I say this because it's something that I've done. I built everything that I have now through Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn as well. Constantly put myself out there over and over again until people then started to see, okay, this guy's about branding, is about talks and articles and stuff. And then they started to approach me in line with opportunities in that field. So the importance of having a brand is very, very great. And I hope that through this interview, I've managed to show that and express that importance.
Definitely, my brother. Thank you so much. Highly appreciated. I'm so glad to have had you. I know we had some technical hiccups here and there, but we are very grateful that God has helped us at least to do the interview. I'm sure we'll do others in future, maybe face-to-face as well. That will be awesome for our audience. Thank you so much. So
Definitely.
when people want to get hold of you to speak in their events, what do they have to do?
Okay. So I have a page on Facebook, Pako Moshaga. I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn under the same name as well. Otherwise, my mobile is 75-431-782. That's 75-431-782.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There's something you said towards the end there. To say you are on Instagram, you are on LinkedIn, you are on Facebook, and you are using the same name.
Yes. That's correct.
And I think that's very important for our audience. It's intentional. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Also, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. I use the same names. Exactly. You cannot afford to be called, I mean, it's a choice, right? But I think some people do it without knowing that on Twitter, you have a different name. On YouTube, you have a different name. On Facebook, you have a different name. There is no uniformity. It's very difficult for people to look for you. I like the fact that you are actually on all the platforms, you have been intentional. I think one of the most important words, Pako, that you have kept on mentioning today, that will stick with me, and I hope will stick with the audience, is that intentional. Be intentional. Be intentional. Thanks a lot, Pako. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you to our viewers. God bless you.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye-bye.